Emily from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, December 30th. So today we have the moon in Leo all day. And of course, this is trying to get us heart-centered, heart-aligned, and really kind of trigger a new boldness, new bravery, new courage to actually be able to express ourselves from the realest, rawest, most vulnerable place within our heart space. Now, today is also the day that Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, finally goes direct after being retrograde since the beginning of September. I'm going to recommend that you take a listen to that astro forecast that I've already put out for your listening pleasure, and to also flip to this particular astro event in your Capricorn season e-guide if you have downloaded that particular resource. So there is a lot of fluctuation taking place in our mood and our attitude due to the fluctuation of energy that, of course, we are currently going through. We just had Venus move into Sagittarius energy. Again, if you haven't listened to that astro forecast, I'm going to recommend you do so. And then now to have Jupiter go direct, we're definitely being prepped and prepared to enter into the new year with big ideas, with big thoughts, with big goals, and having the mood and attitude to actually motivate us, inspire us to go after the things that we have now identified we 100% want to manifest. So among all of this fluctuating energy, we have 9 different aspects here today. 7 of them are going to involve the moon. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, fresh in this Sag energy, is going to be making a little bit of a rough interaction with Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. He is now direct in this Aries energy, giving us a little bit more straightforwardness, a little bit more tenacity, if you will, to boss up, to be that warrior type of spirit, to address the problems within us, to address the wounds, to address the blockages that are preventing us from not only anchoring into this new version of self, but from actually blocking us from going after the things that we know that we need, that we want, that we desire. Now, this is going to really put a little bit of a squash on our affections, if you will. We're not feeling as safe, as secure, as certain about some of the relationship dynamics that we are currently engaged in. And because this is a rougher interaction, we are definitely going to sit in the fears, in the doubts, in the confusion, in the insecurities that we are currently experiencing when it comes to our personal relationship dynamics. The moon in Leo is going to trine Chiron shortly thereafter, bringing us back to a heart-centered space. Again, not allowing that egoic programming that we just sat in with those fears, doubts, and insecurities to keep us in a state of paralysis. We're overriding that particular narrative by really getting in alignment with our heart space, what we know to be true, what we know that we have to pursue. And of course, the trine is a gentle nudge, a lot of growth, a lot of progression in our emotional field, where it is that we are building ourselves up to take action, to make moves, and to feel like not only that we're well equipped and well prepared to kind of move forward into a new path and into a new direction, but we're actually feeling confident, albeit maybe just a short window of confidence. But this particular energy is tapping into that boldness, the bravery, the courage that we 100% need in order to actually move forward. The moon in Leo going to make a positive interaction with Neptune, who of course is in his place of power in this Pisces energy. This is going to remind us of where it is that we need to kind of renew our soul, our spirit, our faith. Again, over the last week or so, especially since the solstice kicked off, many of us very consumed with events, with traditions, with these holiday festivities. We have really been discombobulated. We need to ground. We need to anchor into ourselves. We need to remind ourselves what it is that we actually want, what we're actually passionate about, what it is that we actually want to manifest. This can feel a little bit overwhelming, especially if you haven't been doing the work within yourself to identify where it is that your heart and soul is asking for you to kind of abandon the path in which you've been on to kind of pursue new adventures, new ideas, new, I'm going to say, authentic soul self quests and adventures. And this particular interaction with Neptune is definitely going to help define where it is that our higher self is asking us to kind of take a time out, take a pause, anchor into this present moment, remind ourselves of who it is that we are and what it is that we want, need, and desire. The moon is then going to get into the boxing ring square off with Uranus. Uranus is retrograde in this Taurus energy, trying to highlight for us where it is that we're blocking our own blessings, where it is that we are creating obstacles that don't need to be there, where it is that we're a little bit fearful and resistant to the changes that we know that we need to make. This particular, let's call it battle royale, is between our heart space, which knows that we have to kind of be bold and brave and courageous enough to do the hard things that just happen to be the right things that, of course, we've been resisting in doing. The Uranian energy trying to open us up to be a little bit more risque, to kind of be a little bit more spontaneous, if you will, to break away from the mold that we know that we have outgrown. The moon is then going to trine the North Node and then trine Mercury. So this is a beautiful thing because, of course, the North Node is our soul path, our destiny point, where it is that we have to get on the right path in order to reach our soul's mission, our soul's potential. Mercury, who is retrograde in Sagittarius energy, is trying to show us some epiphanies, the higher perspective, if you will, plucking out the silver linings of some of the not so nice situations and circumstances that are now behind us. These particular interactions are showing us where it is that we are piecing together how to move forward, where it is that new revelations, new perspectives, new understandings, definitely putting us on a different path of possibilities, of what we could believe in ourselves to actually be true, and what is actually achievable, what is attainable now that we have a bigger, brighter, broader perspective of where it is that we can go from here due to where it is that we're actually coming from. Again, this whole kind of back to the future vibe, a lot of the answers, a lot of the clarity that we're currently looking for as far as what the future actually has in store for us is being found, if you will, those puzzle pieces being revealed by really reflecting back on how it is that we have gotten to this present moment. The moon in Leo going to make an awkward interaction with the sun in Capricorn energy. And a lot of this is to do with the fact that the sun in Capricorn energy, yes, has a long-term plan, a long-term vision, a long-term dream and goal, but needs to think about how it is that we're going to achieve these particular visions, goals, and dreams with a very calculated, well thought out plan. Now, the moon in Leo does kind of have us in a situation where we would just kind of prefer to take a risk, to take action, to put ourselves out there in a way to see how we can advance ourselves closer to our vision, our goal, our dreams. The sun kind of pumping the brakes, so to speak. We know we have to build something either within ourselves, emotionally, mentally. Maybe we have to build a better schedule, build a better routine. Overall, this is about realizing where it is that we don't have a plan, where it is that there is an impulse to make moves and take action without this plan, and where it is that we are being blocked from doing just that because we're in a time that needs a very specific plan, a very specific strategy if we actually want to obtain and achieve the goals, the vision, the dreams that we're currently looking to manifest. 8:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jupiter will station direct. Again, I'm going to recommend that you take a listen to that astro forecast so that you now understand that we are gaining momentum moving forward, that we're gaining a little bit of motivation, gaining a little bit of inspiration that we are going to implement in taking action, making moves, even if they are baby steps in a different direction than where it is that we thought we would be walking even 3 months ago. The last aspect that we have going on here today is the moon in Leo making an awkward interaction with Neptune. This is the point in time where we become overwhelmed with our choices, with our options, with basically realizing what is required of us if it means actually achieving the goals that we're currently trying to set for ourselves. If we were the version of ourselves that we needed to be in order to align and attract with the version, the outcome, the dream, the vision, the goal that we're currently desiring, we would already have it. But in this realization, we're starting to feel a little bit heavy, a little bit weighted with the roles, with the responsibilities on our shoulders to boss up to a new level of version of ourselves in order to actually go after the elements, the aspects that we have now identified that we want, we need, and we desire.